The final boss of Dark Souls 1, Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. Throughout the whole game, Gwyn is the character we hear the most about. He's the most pivotal character in Dark Souls lore. He wrested control of the land from the everlasting dragons and brought about an age of fire. He built a vast, expansive city for him and his children to reside in. He formed armies and even a religion. But he was also paranoid. He committed genocide against dragons. He erased his firstborn son from history for siding with them. He was so desperately afraid that the age he so desperately fought to bring about would end. It's a little jarring that when we arrive at the kiln of the first flame, where Gwyn first began the Age of Fire, it is covered in ash. We make it to the arena and he is there, but hollowed, which in Dark Souls lore means he has lost all sense of purpose and succumbs to his gut reactions and feelings, which is mainly hostility. He has quite literally been emotionally destroyed by his paranoia. Needless to say, his fight is also hollow. He attacks with sword swipes and the occasional grab. Meanwhile, the OST is a somber track consisting only of piano notes. This is what has become of the man that has brought about and fought to preserve the Age of Fire. We originally came here to carry on that legacy and link the fire, prolonging the age, but the cost of doing so is heavy. Millions dead, so many more suffering. Even the person in charge has lost all sense of self and is now an emotionless husk. Is this worth preserving? Gwyn, Lord of Cinder provides S-tier storytelling, but seeing as Nightreign places less emphasis on the lore of returning bosses and more emphasis on battle mechanics, Gwyn, Lord of Cinder gets a C-tier on the tier list of how well Dark Souls 1 bosses would work in Nightreign. It's not that he wouldn't work, it's that he exists in Dark Souls 1 as the climax of the plot. One that puts a question to the player of whether it would be worth continuing on their mission or if they should abandon it since the costs arguably outweigh the benefits. Nightreign wouldn't be able to make Gwyn have the same emotional impact. He shouldn't be a Nightreign, even if mechanically he'd be fine. Before I end, I'd like to say thank you to everyone that has watched any part of this series and pose a question of my own. Should I figuratively link the fire and continue this on to Dark Souls 2 bosses? Let me know down in the comments.